So, King Boo. What is there to say about this paranormal individual? For starters, he is in fact the king of all boos. I know, shocker. But who is he really? Well, that's not for me to say. All I do know is that he is a recurring character in the Mario franchise of games. On a more personal note, I have always been drawn to his simple yet fun design. I don't really know what it is, but I just happen to really like random, goofy characters. King Boo has been at the forefront of this, and has remained one of my all-time favorite Nintendo characters. I mean, 12-year-old me did make my entire username based on this floating circle with teeth, so he had to have done something right. With that out of the way, I would like to take a deep dive into King Boo's major appearances and his overall contribution to the Mario series. King Boo debuted all the way back in 2001 on the Nintendo GameCube's very own launch title, Luigi's Mansion. Wow, that was already over 20 years ago. Just kinda insane to think about. Well anyways, Boos themselves actually have existed for quite a while up to the point of Luigi's Mansion's release. They first appeared in Super Mario Bros. 3 back in 1988, and have since become sort of a prominent group of Mario enemies, even spawning a subset of levels based on haunted mansions. Even Mario 64 had an entire world based on them. Now why was King Boo created? Well, simple. Luigi's Mansion needed an antagonist, of course. And up to this point, it had become popular to make a king version of popular Mario enemies. You've got King Bob-omb, Goomboss, and even Bowser himself is really just the king of the Koopas. Naturally, with the Boo's popularity, a King Boo had to be made as well. However, unlike characters like King Bob-omb, King Boo actually served a greater purpose. In Luigi's Mansion, he kidnaps Mario, showing his competence, and he also serves as the final boss of the game. The one thing is that when you fight him, he's in some kind of Bowser suit thing. Yeah, that's kind of a weird first impression. Not really sure why they had to tack Bowser into this fight, but whatever. An interesting theory is that King Boo might be a dead Bowser or something, but I guess Dry Bowser exists as well, so I don't know about that. But then again, all three of them exist in Mario Kart together, so it's really hard to say. Personally, I don't buy it, but it could be something fun to consider, I guess. Overall, it's a cool introduction, despite the whole Bowser thing. His design here is a bit different than what you may be used to. He has a red jewel on his crown and a blue tongue with shaded undertones on his eyes. It's kinda cool. I think it's a very nice, distinct design, to be honest. I really hope they keep it around. Oh, fuck. What is this monstrosity? Guess they liked King Boo enough to put him as one of the main bosses in Nintendo's next big 3D Mario, but they don't like him enough to at least make him look somewhat presentable. Good lord, why does he look like this? He became some hideous, grotesque monster that plagues the casino in Serena Beach. The boss fight is also pretty weird, honestly. You chuck hot, spicy chili peppers into his mouth while avoiding many goofy obstacles from the roulette wheel. Like, it'd be kinda cool, but again, why does he look like that? It's just kind of a weird addition in general, but hey, it's cool that they brought him back so fast, so it can only really go up from here. It's cool that Nintendo was quick to accept King Boo into the main cast of Mario characters. I mean, to an extent, of course. He's still not up there with the big dogs, per se. But he did make his first playable debut in Mario Kart Double Dash, where he sports his new look, and his, yeah, what happened here? I mean, I don't know, he's fine. He just looks like normal Boo, but with a crown. Honestly, I've grown accustomed to this one over the years, and it's definitely, still pretty good, because the base Boo design is amazing, in my opinion. Yeah, this is the most commonly used design to this day now, so just get used to it. He also came with Petey Piranha as a partner, which is cool, I guess. Not really sure why they're partners, but at the same time, I can kind of see it, since they're both big new bad guys introduced during this era. So it's nice to see him too. Although admittedly, poor Petey has not been treated as well as King Boo has since then, but oh well, it's not really about him, is it? King Boo was also playable in Mario Superstar Baseball, but like, who isn't? Still nice to have him there nonetheless, but I also want to discuss the whole thing where regular Boo is kinda just there. I mean, Boo has been playable in a hefty amount of Mario Party games since as early as Mario Party 4. Now, yes, it doesn't really matter because, King Boo is just a bigger Boo with a crown, but it's interesting that they opt to use a generic Boo for those games. It makes more sense later on, I suppose, but In the end, I can't really complain since I'm still gonna pick him. But then they have King Boo and Vanilla Boo both playable in the Mario Baseball game, which is a really interesting choice, I suppose. Now all they have to do is add Pink Boo and Big Boo and Balloon Boo and Behemoth. Ah, perfection. Moving on to the DS, King Boo's appearances here were a bit more scarce. He made a second and final appearance in a mainline 3D Mario game on the console, which is cool. Not cool that he doesn't appear again, but you know what I mean. He was a secret boss in Mario 64 DS. He was found in the level where you unlock Luigi. Although there was something always weird about this incarnation is that, he has a crown, right? That's like the normal King Boo. And, that's about it. It's just Big Boo with a crown. But then they made the error of calling him Big Boo, despite the fact that he is clearly the king. Look at his crown, it's right there. Wow. Common Nintendo L. What a disgrace. I can't believe they did this. I'm never going to forgive him. Probably not even going to buy another Nintendo game ever again, honestly. Oh yeah, Super Princess Peach. Remember that game? I don't. But hey, King Boo's a boss in that game, so that's worth something if you value mediocrity. Alright, Mario Kart DS. Oh boy, does this mean he returns as a playable racer? What? No? Then what the heck is his role? Oh, mission mode was a thing, wasn't it? Honestly, it's a pretty cool mode that I'm surprised hasn't made a return yet. But yeah, I guess there were bosses in this game, for better or for worse, and King Boo was one of them. It's nothing to write home about, though. For starters, it's evidently the same model from 64 DS, but okay, that's fine. I can't blame them for not fixing something that's already perfect. But the fight not only has you using Peach for some reason, despite Luigi being right there, it also weirdly takes place in some generic lava area, kind of like a Bowser Castle type place. Alright, that's all whatever, but also instead of racing him, you just have to collect coins? You get to race the Goom Boss, and you also get to push the bully off, which is kind of sick, but collecting coins? That's kind of boring. And then he just kind of dies of bankruptcy, I think? I don't know, he just decided poverty is a fate worse than death, which is kind of fair, I suppose, but wow, okay. That kind of does it for the DS. His appearances were kind of underwhelming, but hey, it shows that they are using King Boo in more varying titles. Now we get onto one of Nintendo's biggest platforms, the Wii. I wonder how Nintendo utilized King Boo during the successful era. Pretty alright. Nothing big. He wasn't in the Galaxy games or the New Soup games for that matter, but he was an unlockable character in Mario Kart Wii, which is pretty awesome. This time he's paired with Rosalina? Okay, that one just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's not like Double Dash or anything, but I always kind of viewed the character select screen on Mario Kart Wii with all the characters paired up with who they associate with the most. You see, there's Mario and Luigi, Peach and Daisy, weirdly all the Koopas and Kongs kind of intermix, which I just kind of always accepted. But this one kind of stuck out to me like a sore thumb because it just doesn't make any goddamn sense. Maybe it's hinting at some sort of Rosalina King Boo ship? No, that's quite alright, thanks. I don't need to imagine that. Next is Mario Party 8, where Vanilla Boo is playable yet again. But King Boo gets his own map! He's a star holder, and the gimmick is to find the room that he's in to cough up 10 coins for the big prize. The catch is that the board is a literal maze, and he could be anywhere. Find the wrong room, and you get sent to the start. It is admittedly a very polarizing board, but I found it fun from time to time. I always loved the Spooky Mansion aesthetic. The problem is that if you're playing Mario Party 8, you're more than likely playing Koopa's Tycoon Town because it is objectively the correct choice. Man, I don't know how many people out there even know about this map. It's so godlike. I would go on, but I have to stop myself from getting sidetracked yet again. Anyways, Mario Super Sluggers. I have a bit of a personal attachment to this game, but even I'll admit that there's very little to say here. Because, of course, King Boo, along with the Vanilla Boo, are playable characters yet again. Which is not saying a lot because there's like a shit ton of characters in this game. including stuff like King K. Rool, Tiny Kong, the Critters, motherfucking baby Donkey Kong. I mean, it's lots of DKC love, which is great to see, which is not really a common trend nowadays, except for, you know, K. Rool and Smash. I really gotta stop going on all these random side tangents. I guess it's just a habit, which happens when you know as many insignificant Nintendo facts as I do. Okay, what's next? The Mario and Sonic games? Okay, yeah, he's in those as some kind of boss thing. I don't know, I don't really care for these games enough to look into it further. So, Mario Party 9 it is. Oh, God. Yeah, he's in everyone's favorite Mario Party, and this time as a boss. Mario Party bosses. I mean, they were in DS, but that game had a whole ass story that was weirdly endearing. And the boss minigames were actually, you know, fun. Whereas here, it's some kind of weird puzzle matching game thing. Ugh, boring. The Boo map in this godforsaken game isn't even for King Boo. I mean, he's the boss there, but it's called Boo's Horror Castle. And guess what? Boo was removed! Just when you think this game could not get any worse. Okay, the Wii U is a quick one. Honestly, it's good King Boo didn't have to bear the shame of being on this failure of a console all too much. His only appearance is... apart from Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games, King Boo was yet again a boss in Mario Party 10. Oh boy, how exciting! Somehow this game is worse than 9, which, like, how? Whatever, I'm moving on. On 3DS, King Boo finally had another major role, this time as the antagonist in Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, or Luigi's Mansion 2 outside of the US. Cool to see him again in his original design, and the plot is generally the same as the first, except this time he steals the Dark Moon. Ooh! This allows him to control all the nice ghosts, and now they're bad ghosts. Spooky! Yeah, the Mario games are never really known for their rich storytelling, but it's passable since it's never really the focus anyway. In this game, the final fight against King Boo is actually against King Boo, not Bowser. Who would have thought? And it's pretty solid. He throws spike balls, chases you through a hallway, and during the confrontation he has some pretty cool dialogue taunting Luigi. I like that he's just kind of Luigi's arch nemesis at this point. I think that's a pretty big deal, to be honest. That sets him apart from most of the other Mushroom Kingdom goons like Petey and Bob-omb. Aside from that grand return to glory, King Boo was in diddly squat, to be honest. A boss in another shitty, generic Mario Party from this era. A boss in modern Paper Mario, which is kind of just an insult if anything. And a boss in Puzzle and Dragons Mario Bros. Edition? Huh, I bet everyone forgot this existed. I mean, I've never even played it. I'm just reading through the wiki, and I was just as surprised as most of you are. Oh, and there was like one more game. That being the remake of the original Luigi's Mansion, of course. Not much to say, since it's just the same thing as the original, just on newer hardware. But did you know that this was Luigi's actual first appearance, not Luigi's Mansion 3? Yeah, they added co-op to this one, which is pretty neat. Some major ups and downs on this console for old buddy King Boo. He got to be a major villain again, and he has his original debut reprised. But everything else was just kinda lacking. People often protest on how Waluigi got cut in Mario Kart 7 in favor of Honey Queen, but no one ever talks about how King Boo was also given the boot. I didn't mention this earlier in the Wii U section, but he also didn't return for Mario Kart 8, sadly. Overall, it's just kind of been a rough time for the King of the Boos, at least in the playable sense. I mean, fine, Boo was still playable in the shitty Mario Tennis games and, like, Island Tour, I guess. Cool. Well, now it's time we look back at fall of 2016. Wow, can't believe this was over 6 years ago already. But the Nintendo Switch was officially unveiled to the world, showcasing early snippets of Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and Splatoon 2, among others. But one of these was very interesting. It looked to be Mario Kart 8 again. But wait, is that... Holy crap, the Mad Lads did it! King Boo was coming back to Mario Kart 8. King Boo alongside series favorites like Bowser Jr., Dry Bones, and Inklings. Well, okay, they're there too, I guess. They all returned for the re-release of Mario Kart 8, known as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This was much appreciated. It felt wrong without him in the game. Especially since, Pink Gold Peach and Baby Rosalina were there, which was really lame, I'm not gonna lie. So this means King Boo might have a bit of a renaissance on the Switch, right? Right? Well, kinda. He was a boss in, Mario Tennis Aces, had a cool appearance in Mario Party Superstars where he replaced Big Boo in Horrorland, and he also got to reappear in this abomination of a form in Super Mario Sunshine and the 3D All-Stars collection. But the main game for him this generation has definitely been Luigi's Mansion 3. Once again, he kidnaps Mario, but this time Peach is there, and some Toads as well. Oh no, not the Toads! And he seeks help of Helen Gravely, which, okay, here's another side tangent, but it's kind of related, so I'll justify it. This lady is obsessed with King Boo. I mean, good God, she has so much King Boo merch in her lair, and she's like always going out of her way to try to appease him. Her entire motivation for what she does is just to get some of that King Boo, yeah. I'm not gonna look into this further. But the thing is, King Boo gives no shits. He ain't about the bitches. Anyways, I overall just really love his depiction in this game, out of any game really. He's more expressive, he has a cool boss fight, he gets to interact with more characters. I just think Helen is also a good addition as a nice sort of sidekick for King Boo. So yeah, overall this is a nice sign for what's to come, and surely his next appearance will... Oh. Yeah, this exists, I guess. But wait, there's still one more piece of hardware to cover. That's right, baby, mobile devices. Yeah, King Boo got a Doctor variant in Dr. Mario World, or I should say he did, past tense, because that game shut down since literally no one played it. But it did spawn some hilarious meme characters like Dr. Goomba Stack, which has no right being one of my favorite characters ever. But like, come on, it's so goofy, you gotta love this shit. Aside from that game though, King Boo is also a character in Mario Kart Tour, which, is expected, but there is a really cool thing about it. He actually has some really cool skins, and one of them is actually his OG Luigi's Mansion design. This is really awesome. They should add this to Mario Kart 8 as an actual skin. There is also the Golden King Boo, which is an original creation, but it's still nice. I kind of like how he has a silver crown instead. It's a decent design. But alas, I think those are just kind of stuck in MK Tour for all eternity. They really don't want to put these skins in the base game. So yeah, that's it. Some characters in gacha games. Great. And of course, this last section is to list off all the other cameo appearances that King Boo has made for those obligatory comments that will inevitably happen saying,
actually, where's Nintendo Badge Arcade?
Like, yeah, okay, fine. Here are all your desires fulfilled. Mario Kart Arcade GP DX, Mario Kart Arcade GP 2, New Super Luigi U, Mario Golf World Tour, Super Smash Bros. For 3DS, but not the Wii U one, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, and Tetris 99. There, those are his insignificant appearances. I hope you're happy. And it looks like we're still not even done yet, as King Boo has had even more recent appearances. He got to be in the Mario movie! Oh my god, there he is as a background character looking jank as fuck! But seriously though, it's really sick that they put him in there even though he's just a cameo. However, a bigger appearance for him was in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which I was not expecting. This is his first time in a mainline 2D Mario game, and it's been the first time since Mario 64 DS that he's been in any mainline Mario game. And here he is, with his most majestic voice. Just listen for yourself. Simply beautiful. Lastly, I suppose I should mention this, but King Boo will most definitely show up in the upcoming Luigi's Mansion 2 HD remake. Not much to say there, but it's good to see another prominent role for him on Nintendo's most successful home console. Speaking of which, I didn't mention this before, but Luigi's Mansion 3 kinda popped off in sales. I think it's safe to say that the Switch has been one of the best eras for our ghostly fella. Now all we need is a new Mario baseball game. Please, Nintendo. And make it good, for God's sake. But yeah, that does it for all of King Boo's major and minor appearances over the years. Overall, he has cemented himself as one of the Mario regulars, who appears quite a good amount, all things considered. As I mentioned before though, he tends to fight for a roster slot in most games with normal Boo, but nonetheless, Boos are Boos. With that said, I wanted to thank anyone who watched the video all the way through. I've never done a video in this fashion, and it has been a really fun experience to research the info and edit all the pieces together. I look forward to doing more like this as well and other types of projects in the future. Many thanks, make sure to subscribe, like, and whatnot, and I hope you all have a great day.